Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a book review on The Silkworm by Robert Galbraith. The Silkworm is book 2 in the Cormoran Strike series by Robert Galbraith. When novelist Owen Quine goes missing, his wife hires Strike to find him, only for Strike to eventually find Quine gruesomely murdered. The investigation leads Strike into the cutthroat world of literary publishing, where he discovers that Quine was writing a novel that was scathingly libelous towards his co-workers. Someone Quine knew wanted him dead, and it's a race to figure out who wanted to silence Quine for their own ruthless motivation. This was another fantastic installment in the Strike series, and I'm only 2 books in, and what I'm realizing that I specifically love is how heavily the characters are focused on in this book, specifically the characters of Cormoran Strike himself and his assistant Robin. When I read mysteries like this, or thrillers, however you kind of want to categorize books like this, authors tend to focus very heavily on plot more so than characters. And now I understand why these books are so gigantic and why they keep getting bigger and bigger, because Robert Galbraith, aka J.K. Rowling, let's not beat around the bush, I think we all know that. J.K. Rowling, she spends a hell of a lot of time really focusing on the backstories and the current goings on of Strike and Robin, which I found myself really loving. Like I said, I'm only 2 books in, and that's like my favorite part of these books. Whenever we're dealing with something personal in Strike's life or something personal in Robin's life, like some of the big things going on in this book, Strike, as always, he's still dealing with his daddy issues. I can't wait to meet Strike's dad. Yeah, guys, when is that going to happen? I need to meet this man that Strike hates so bad. It's driving me a little nuts. But yeah, Strike still has his daddy issues. And on top of that, he's still facing... he's facing the fact that his ex-fiance, who is now married to another man, who's about to get married to another man, there's a marriage coming up for that, and it's all over the tabloids and newspapers and whatnot, and it's driving him nuts, and he's upset and frustrated. And because of that, that really informs where his character is at throughout this entire book, that he's dealing with his daddy issues, his family issues, dealing with his ex-fiance getting married. Add on top of that, you know, I think he still has his own form of PTSD, because I mean, he was in Afghanistan doing what he was doing there, and yet his leg got blown off, you know. So I mean, he's dealing with that. It's like he has 2 types of pain. He has physical pain with his leg actually being missing, and then he also has just mental pain from, once again, daddy issues, his ex-fiance, all that drama. So I just really love the depth and nuance with the Strike character, because he can initially come across as just really curmudgeonly and grumpy. He's not a people person whatsoever, but yeah, he is just so good at his job for the most part. You know, he knows when to stretch himself and when to maybe just kind of lay back, and he knows also when he needs to use and rely on Robin's help. And yeah, speaking of Robin, I just adore Robin, you guys. She's a little badass. she don't really have to go around like running around shooting people, you know. That she's just a badass just for how she is and her personality alone, you know. She's quick and clever and witty. She doesn't take any bullshit from Strike. Let's be real. And yeah, I love the personal drama that Robin is facing in this book. Her and her fiance are about to get married sometime soon, and she's kind of having some issues with that, and she's worried that her future husband, Matthew's going to prevent her from working for Strike anymore. And we get a lot of depth and background here with Robin as well, that Robin, for the longest time, she's always kind of wanted to work in this business, like what Strike does as a private investigator. She's always kind of wanted to do that. She is a people person. Compared to kind of how Strike is, you know, she's always wanted to do this type of work and have purpose and value. And yeah, her fiance Matthew oftentimes belittles her and can be a little sexist and misogynistic towards that. Like, no, we're about to get married. I want you to stay home, cook for me, have children, you know. Her fiance Matthew, what a ass. Oh my God, I hate him. So I love the personal side of Robin and Strike that's presented in these books so far. Like I said, I'm only in 2 books, and I'm just so impressed with the amount of character depth that's going on there that's outside of the main murder investigation. So yeah, speaking of the main murder investigation, woo, so good. I loved it. So gruesome too. A novelist named Owen Quine. He's been missing. His wife, of course, goes to strike. She has heard about the Lula Landry case. The Lula Landry case was the big thing that went on in book 1. Lula Landry was like a big, hot up-and-coming model and whatnot, and there was some mysterious circumstances there, and yeah, that put Strike all over the news in regards to that case. So now he's kind of a hot commodity for people who know he can kind of get down and dirty and figure out a case when the police are not helping. So yeah, Owen Quine's wife goes to Strike saying, hey, my husband's gone missing. I need you to go find him. Of course, what happens? Strike finds Quine. He's been brutally, gruesomely murdered. Oh my God! The scene when Strike finds Quine, it is, woo! It's, if you're queasy, it's gonna be a little nauseating. It's pretty rough. And what Strike ultimately kind of finds himself getting into is he finds himself getting into the cutthroat world of literary publishing, which who would have known? And once again, this is written by J.K. Rowling, who is an author herself. She knows all about the world of publishing, so there's probably a lot of truth about publishing in this book. Probably some exaggerations, but probably a lot of truth in there as well. And yeah, what Strike eventually finds out is that Owen Quine was apparently about to write a book that was brutally scathing and libelous towards his co-workers. And that's not a good thing. You can get sued for stuff like that. So there's motivation right there. One of Quine's co-workers is possibly the murderer, and Strike needs to kind of run down the list of all the suspects. Who had the best motivation for wanting to get rid of Quine? Who had the most to lose if this book got published and put out there? So I really loved everything going on with the main murder investigation, and yeah, getting to know Quine's wife and his disabled daughter. Yeah, all of the co-workers that Quine works with, and yeah, just really kind of getting into the nitty-gritty of kind of the behind the scenes of publishing that I think the average person just has absolutely no idea about, you know. And yeah, kind of the do's and don'ts, you know, don't commit libel. So I really appreciated this second book. Thoroughly enjoyable. I definitely cannot wait to get to the third book. Oh my goodness. So you guys, that is it for this review. In the comments below, have you guys read The Silkworm? Do you plan on reading it, or have you read it? Just let me know your thoughts down below. So that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this video, you may like these other videos. Bye guys.